Hey everybody, Wimpy here, and today I've got 8 tips to help you succeed in Mind Over Magic, so let's get started. Some plants can only be harvested at night. These include the Sporeshroom, the Fractal Mold, and the Unstable Anemone. By default, your mages don't work at night, so to harvest these plants, you need to create a night shift schedule and assign a nature mage to it. Speaking of Sporeshroom, after you've harvested some in the wild, you'll get spores to domesticate them. When you do, plant them in a private room. When mages walk by a spore shroom, they get a debuff that gives -5 conviction, so you only want them to walk by when they're planting or harvesting spore shrooms. If you're hiring students just to graduate them, consider hiring nature mages. They'll be better at tending crops, which you'll be doing a lot of. If you're tending high-end crops like rock candy and jumping nuts, then hire Nature 2 students to do the work. Each of those plants requires 4 nature skill to plant, so Nature 1 mages likely won't be able to do it. For all the other plants, Nature 1 mages are fine. Speaking of rock candy, make sure that it's planted under a roof because when it rains, rock candy disintegrates even when it's still growing. Kroa nests spawn a Kroa every so often. These Kroa will destroy any crops they can get to. To prevent this, you can use a Scare Kroa, but that needs to be refilled every so often with a Dark skill. Instead, build some foundation and a wall with a door. This will block out Kroa from entering your garden and keep your crops safe. When you kill a Kroa, it leaves behind a corpse. Kroa corpses that are on the ground when it turns to night spawn a spectral bird that attacks your furnishings. These spectral birds can be hunted for ectoplasm. However, you can also stop them from spawning altogether by either destroying the Kroa corpse or by refining the corpse into eyeballs or brains at the Midden Jelly. Gifted students require lightning mages to summon, and they cost scrolls to summon. They also have +1 to their wand element and bonuses to other elements. Summoning a gifted student requires a skilled lightning mage, and it requires multiple skilled lightning mages when you have more than 3 students. My suggestion is if you want to summon a gifted student, summon them when you've got between 0 and 2 students, just so it only takes 1 skilled lightning mage. Otherwise, you're going to be doing a lot more work than I think it's worth. Set up mana lanterns throughout your base so that your mages can quickly recharge. Once you research foundations, set some up far away from your base, close to the runewood biome, so that your mages don't have to go all the way back to recharge. The last tip is actually a bonus set of little tips to help your gameplay. Want to easily select multiple items on the screen? Just double click. This works for resources and buildings, so you can quickly chop all the trees or select all of a certain type of building to do something with. For example, you can select all your cots and deconstruct them that way once you've moved on to better bedrooms. Do you need something done immediately or want a job done by a specific mage? Select the mage and then right-click the job that you want done. This will force the mage to drop what they're doing and perform the action. Later in the game, when you don't need lots of scrolls, you can slow down learning by just reducing the amount of time that your students spend learning and give them more work time. Use tiny chests with priority 5 to get single stacks of items near crafting stations, which speeds up delivery to these stations. You can also use tiny chests near ritual sites in the underschool, which really speeds up material delivery for these rituals. I also use them in the dining areas so my mages don't have to travel far to get their food. Those are all the tips I have for you today. If you have any good tips or questions about the game, please leave a comment. Also, if you found this video helpful, you can really help me by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I'm still pretty new to YouTube, and I've really enjoyed creating content and engaging with the community, so thank you all for being such a great audience. Anyways, that's it for today. See you next time. Bye!